Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Mojave. Today we're going to be checking out the X-12 Research Center. Now this small research center is right next to the sink, and while it might be small, it has a very kind of humorous and scary story associated with it. So let's waste no time and let's jump into it. And as I said, this location is right next to the sink. As you can see, it's directly to the west of the sink, so really easy to access. However, you're going to need the upgraded sonic emitter in order to explore this place because the bottom floor is sealed off by this force field, but we can use the sonic emitter to disable it. At the bottom, you will notice there is a lone Y-17 Master trauma harness, so we will have to kill it using the All-American. Now, it did take me a little bit of time in order to kill him. It was kind of a difficult fight, but eventually he died. But as you make your way further down and after you kill the Master Harness, more Y-17 trauma units will show up, so you will have to be ready for a prolonged fight. However, since these ones were not master harnesses, they were a bit easier to kill, which was very nice for me because, yeah, it was a bit of a difficult fight at first, but the ending was not so bad because their health depletes very fast. However, I do have to say, these things are so frickin' creepy. Seeing these skeletons just attacking you with their skulls looking at you in Fallout, I don't know, but it just gives me the creeps. Now, it is worth mentioning that the K9000 Cyberdog gun is located on the Master Harness. However, one of the other units picked it up, but I took it and repaired my current Cyberdog gun. After that, there's some ammunition, and then we can get the light switch upgrade smart lights leaning against the projector. Also, as you saw earlier, there are some proton throwing axes on the podium on the bottom floor. Besides that, we have some ammunition boxes in this little hallway off to the side. And that pretty much sums up all of the lootable items and the enemies within the X-12 Research Center. However, if we head back up to the top, you will notice that there is an X-12 terminal, and it has some very interesting entries which read, "We've had a small issue with one of our Y-17 trauma harnesses. Sadly, a member of the X-12 research team choked on a buffalo gourd seed and died while working late last night. For some reason, his Y-17 trauma harness will not shut down. In fact, it has begun malfunctioning and causing the late Mr. Harris to attack other employees. Do you have any prototypes you could lend us as a means to stop it? Barb." And then the next entry on the computer is a reply which reads, "I'm sending over the K9000 Cyberdog gun. It should do the trick. Let me know if you have any operational questions. Aiden." And the next entry reads, "We've had another unfortunate occurrence. While attempting to destroy Mr. Harris's trauma harness, the disaster control team member carrying the gun slipped and fell, dropping the weapon. Unarmed, the team had to flee and seal off the lab. Unfortunately, your K9000 Cyberdog gun prototype was sealed inside X-12. From Barb." And from this, we can understand why there is a lone Y-17 harness at the bottom of the X-12 research facility. Obviously, this is poor Mr. Harris, and he got the Cyberdog gun because some poor soul was trying to kill him or to stop the suit, and he slipped and the gun fell down, and now the suit has been using the gun ever since. We can assume this was probably pre-war, so Mr. Harris has been down there for, well, over 200 years. Pretty freaking crazy, but pretty freaking hilarious and also quite scary. And real quick, I just wanted to show off the smart light upgrade. If you add it to the light switch and you activate it, it'll increase your science by +5, your repair by +5, and your intelligence by +2 for 12 in-game hours after activating it. So this is a pretty nice little boost, and it is pretty easy to access, at least once you have the sonic emitter upgrade. And as you can see, it turns all of the lights within the sink kind of this greenish color. Pretty cool. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Unexplored Mojave. The X-12 Research Center might be small, but it is definitely quite interesting. I hope you learned something about Fallout New Vegas, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any recommendations for future videos or future ideas, please post them in the comments section below. And, as always, until next time.